Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this Facebook Live. Of course, it is Friday. We have a lot to talk about in the weather department, of course. We'll get to that in a second here, but first, a reminder, you can find us live here on Facebook every weekday morning about 8 o'clock. We go live for you. It stays on your Facebook feed throughout the day, so you can go back and watch it whenever it's convenient for you. You can also find us on our YouTube page. You can also find us on your favorite podcast platform. Just go to inform.com/podcast and look for the Inform Minute. You can find us there. So plenty of places to find us.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the weather. We got some snow overnight. It's causing some issues, but the bigger system is still to come.
Yes, so that starts to develop on Sunday. This morning, waking up to a little bit of snow, about 0.8 in Fargo, so just shy of an inch is what the airport is reporting. That'll be your official reading for the city. Enough to make things a little bit sloppy out there, but I mean, we didn't have school delays or anything like that in the Fargo-Moorhead Metro. More snow further down to the south, a lot less, like nothing further up to the north. I do have a list of snowfall reports over there on my Facebook page if you want to check that out. The rest of the day features sunshine. My tower cams are already starting to show off some sun. Because it's late March, getting close to early April, we might do a little bit of melting today, even though the temp stays below freezing. Sun angle is strengthening, and so that helps. Your pavement might really start to melt away. Driveway, sidewalk, road will improve, those sorts of things. No snow then for the rest of the day. There's one little snow shower out near Cooperstown right now, by the way. I'm not ignoring that, but most of us, no snow for the rest of the day. Then tomorrow, there's some passing light snow showers, mainly to the southwest of Fargo. Not much for accumulation, but don't be surprised to see if like peaks of sun early on and then increasing clouds. And that cloud cover is the first thing that you get ahead of the storm that's coming.
The big one.
The big one. The one that everyone's talking about, rightfully so. Okay, so I think a lot of folks are thinking, I'm going to wake up to a big snowstorm on Sunday morning. And that's not the case. We've had kind of delays with this. Model runs have been pushing it back. Original thinking, was something like that. But this now is looking like light snow to start on Sunday because the core of the low, the main part of the storm, is still down to our south. As that builds in our direction, our snowfall rates will start to pick up. It intensifies. The wind becomes breezier too throughout the day on Sunday. So things start off okay, not so bad on Sunday, and then we really see it ramp up from the south to the north. Heavy wet snow then late Sunday into Monday and Tuesday. We're talking the really sloppy kind of wet snow. It's coming from the south, so it gets a lot of moisture with it. Strong winds gusting 40, maybe 50 miles an hour.
Sheesh.
It's a little early still for a precise wind forecast for Monday, Tuesday, but strong winds. So blizzard potential is there, where we're talking you can't see. Whiteout conditions, that heavy wet snow coming down paired with the strong winds.
Probably a lot of drifting with that too.
Exactly. Some really impressive drifts can be expected. Let's see, that lasts through Monday and into Tuesday, wraps up during the day on Tuesday, kind of from the southwest to the northeast in that same pattern that it came in. I would just kind of start thinking about backup plans for travel plans late Sunday into Monday, Tuesday. Maybe start thinking about the kids being home from school or daycare. Not that we're going to make calls on any of those things, but I'm a planner, so and a parent,
Just
so
be ready for it.
Yes, those are kind of things to think about. Maybe hit up the grocery store. Grocery stores are probably going to be busy this weekend. Before a lot of that snow starts to fall. Our current snow forecast does call for about 8 to 12 inches here in Fargo. Now, this storm is just kind of moving on land today. That snow forecast is going to change. I think every single time I showed it on First News this morning, I was like, this is not final. You can't see a forecast on Friday morning and think it's going to hold all the way till Tuesday. So our snow forecast is going to change. It's going to adapt. You have to keep checking back with us for the latest. You can do that on the Storm Tracker app, our newscast, of course. We do have a live blog going on inform.com where you can also find that snow forecast map. That's an easy way to access it. And that will get updated several times a day for the next few days. Winter storm watch, by the way, was issued overnight. It was about 3:45 this morning. I was upstairs talking to these guys and I said, okay, like hopefully we have a watch by the time we get to the show. And by the time I got back downstairs, they had issued the watch. I was like, oh, yep, called it. So winter storm watch right now looking like late Saturday through Monday evening is the terminology on that from the National Weather Service. That will be upgraded to some sort of a warning, whether it's a blizzard warning or a winter storm warning. That will happen this weekend. So that's another thing to kind of like anticipate or check back with us for an update because we'll get that warning then. What else?
You kind of talked about this week about like those bands of certain spots are going to get hit really hard.
Yes.
And then some of the other ones maybe not quite as
Yeah.
much.
So the closer you are to the core of this low pressure system, you're in line for some of those heavy bands of snow. When you watch our Futurecast models on our videos or on the show, you see like ribbons of deeper, darker blues within the radar or within our Futurecast models. That's indicating those heavier bands of snow where the snowfall rates are higher. So it's really piling down quickly. I expect some of those bands to set up. Right now, trying to pinpoint where those bands happen is really tricky. And then therefore that indicates kind of who sees the most snow.
Sure.
Generally speaking, right now I'm looking at more snow east, less snow west.
Okay.
The further away you get from that central part of the low pressure system, the lighter your snow is and the lighter your wind is too. Even if you only see an inch of snow out of this system, but you still have winds up near 40 miles an hour, you're still looking at problems.
Oh yeah,
so
definitely.
It's a big, widespread system. Okay, I think that kind of covers everything. Check out our blog, check out our app, stay up to date.
Yeah.
Don't be silly. Pack a winter survival kit if you absolutely have to travel. All of those winter things that we've kind of not had
kind of
to
threw
deal
them all
with.
to the side, and now here we go.
Yeah,
We've got a
in
blast of it.
late March.
Yeah.
And then the rest of our 10-day forecast does look pretty chilly, so I don't have great melting weather anytime soon either. I think it stays on the ground. Your Easter pictures, probably going to have some snow in them.
Yeah.
Easter egg hunts, probably going to have some snow sticking around on the ground.
Gonna have to really hunt through the snow.
Yeah, you can just throw the eggs and they'll hide themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah, I think that's it. Check in, get updates throughout the weekend, ask questions if you have questions.
Yeah.
All those things.
And we'll be here, of course, Monday morning when things are really kind of starting to unfold and tracking it all live. So make sure to join us then on First News.
School closures, if there's power outages, if there's road closures.
Airports, all that kind of stuff too.
All of those things, we will have you covered.
All right.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Lydia. All right, let's talk a little bit about road conditions. They've been improving throughout the morning, getting better. No travel alerts this morning, but we do know much of the Southern Valley covered in some type of snow this morning. It's kind of the same story towards the middle of the state. I-94 from about Valley City to Jamestown kind of has some of that compacted, icy snow on the roads, so keep that in mind. Right now, we do know I-29 to the south towards South Dakota from Fargo-Moorhead is going to be much worse than if you're heading north towards Grand Forks. Things up that way seem to be okay this morning. In Minnesota, much of the southern portion of their state also dealing with snowy roads, partially covered roads into Lakes Country, places around Perham, down to Fergus Falls, Battle Lake area. The further you go towards the Twin Cities, between here and there, pretty sloppy. If you get into the cities, things are a little better, but between here, Twin Cities, very sloppy this morning. All right, big event going on here in Fargo this weekend. The PRCA Championship Rodeo is going on at the Fargodome. Cowboys and cowgirls from across the nation, I think from across the world even, are set to compete to qualify for the national finals in Las Vegas. That's a very big deal every year. The rodeo is at 7:30 tonight. It's also at 7:30 tomorrow. You can get general admission tickets for $25 to $45. You can go to thefargodome.com to get those early in advance. All right, the madness has begun as well for March Madness. The first day of games did not disappoint. Today, another big round of basketball on tap as the women's tournament also tips off. Some teams to watch for that are undefeated South Carolina. They play at 1 o'clock today. Everyone wants to see Caitlin Clark play. She's going to be playing tomorrow in Iowa at 2 o'clock for the first game of the tournament. The SDSU women's team, they're going to have a chance to make a March Madness run. They play tomorrow night against Utah at 9. As for headlines from day one, Summit League champions on the men's side, SDSU fell in the first round of the tournament, losing to Iowa State, 82 to 65. The big upset of the day, you probably heard about this one, number 3 ranked Kentucky falling to 14 ranked Oakland. That was a big bracket buster for a lot of people, including myself. In fact, less than 2.5% of brackets made it through the first 8 games of play last night. Never goes as you predict it. If it did go as you predicted, it wouldn't be called March Madness. That's the fun of it. Other bracket busters were losses by number 6 seed BYU and South Carolina. All right, today on Hot Mic with Dom Izzo, you know he's going to be talking about March Madness, but also Shanley standout athlete Landon Meyer is heading to NDSU to play some football. He's going to be joining Dom to discuss why he chose football and the Bison. Plus, puck drops at the Frozen Face-Off today in St. Paul. Can UND get past Omaha? Dom previews the big game on Hot Mic. That's from 9 to 11 on WDAY Extra and on Inform.com. Speaking of Inform.com, you can get a all-access pass and a 3-month subscription for just 99 cents a month for your first 3 months right now. Go there. That's where you can access that, all the weather blogs, weather stories. Also, you can watch Hot Mic on there, all sorts of other local news stories. So make sure to do that. And then remember, join us throughout the rest of the day for our newscasts. Our next one's at 11, then 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. And First News and our weekend newscasts as well. We're going to have updated weather conditions and all sorts of stuff like that. So stick with us through all of that. You can join us for First News. Again, on Monday morning, we'll track the snow live for you, give you up to date on our road conditions, and let you know of everything that's going on. So join us then. Until then, be safe. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye.